lead together, embrace change, enhance everyone's journey. The 3 core principles of SmartStop, a leader in self-storage real estate across North America, reinforce why we're proud to bring you SheEO Lead-In, the podcast featuring curated conversations with powerful women sharing their impactful wisdom. It's a self-knowledge, self-discovery, and self-preneurship audio storage vault created by and for women. SmartStop's presentation of SheEO Lead-In begins right now.
Have you ever felt that you as a woman may not appear to measure up when you see incredible women in strong roles? You may be surprised when hearing from women in these positions and how we all share many of the same challenges. Thank you for joining us for the SheEO Leading-In podcast with Rebecca Jones as we share the journeys of women.
Hello, I'm Rebecca Jones, your host of SheEO Lead-In. We are on an exploration together to discover more about the personal journeys of incredible women in both career and life. We all have paths to share that sometimes take incredible turns, deep resilience, and courage to navigate. My hopes are that the challenges shared here encourage women to take leaps of faith and growth when a journey feels too difficult or unachievable. There is great strength deep within each one of us. These stories are meant to share the ways strong women have taken their dreams to strive and thrive to new heights, despite their sometimes rocky paths, and found a way to lead in. Today we're here with Kira Karmazin. She is with KiraGrace Incorporated. How are you today?
I'm great. Thank you for having me, Rebecca.
Thank you. And I'd like to find out a little bit more about your business. Could you share that with our listeners today?
Absolutely. Well, we are a San Diego-based business, and we have been in business for over 10 years now. We started in 2013, so it's actually we're going on our 12th year. But my goal and our mission is really to support women on their journeys so they feel confident and supported. And we do that through making beautiful clothes and clothes that really move with you. And all of our clothes are made with 4-way stretch and performance fabrics. And we make tops and pants. And our target is really working women who are really busy and on the move. And we want to just simplify their lives.
Changing in the car.
Yeah. I've done that.
Yes, me too. Yeah, sometimes you have to do that. So when you first said comfortable clothes, I thought, well, there's got to be Lycra involved with that or something like that so that you can stretch, because we all like those moments. You know, we have, our bodies are, I think, a little unique in the fact that sometimes we're bloated, sometimes we're not.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Giving birth. Just our lives evolve so much as women.
Well, we just want to make getting dressed the easiest part of your day because we know the rest of your day is really crazy.
It is.
And we started as a yoga clothing company. I was originally inspired. I was spending a lot of time practicing yoga, and I moved from my corporate job into being an entrepreneur. And I was wanted just to make beautiful yoga clothes with very, very beautiful details and very feminine. And I did that for a number of years, and then COVID really changed the landscape for us. Yeah. But we stayed true to those performance fabrics, and we're still working with the same factories that made those beautiful garments, so they know how to sculpt and shape products so it's really flattering, and use some of the same stitching that we use for yoga clothes. So it's really taking all those performance factors into that we learned from the athletic market and moving it into ready to wear.
So when you brought up the pandemic, this is how I was imagining. Yeah. I was thinking of myself with my suit jacket and blouse, with my athletic pants on the bottom, and bare feet. That's how I did my Zooms during the pandemic. I just was chuckling on the inside, just thinking about how the evolution has changed so much. And now we do have a great amount of the workforce that does work from home. And so you must be doing very well, almost 12 years. That's great. What do you sell mostly online, or what does the retail space look like for you?
Mostly online. Okay. It's interesting. Our business has shifted so much over the years, and COVID changed it so much, moving us almost entirely online at that point. We used to sell more wholesale. We still do. We still do support a number of stores, and we work through a wholesale platform through that. But most of our work is really directed straight to the consumer, and
Right.
whether it's advertising or other communications that we do. But we are almost entirely direct to consumer.
And for busy people like me, I'm the Instacart shopper. It's like I look at my schedule and I go, oh, I don't think I can fit one more thing in today. So I do a lot of online ordering like most people do now. I think a lot more now, I think, than ever, because it's convenient. But do most of your consumers, do they ever even give you any feedback? They may not, but say that, oh, gee, your sizes are very universal. Like they literally are always the same. I know I can count on I'm a size this and it always works. Do you have any feedback on that?
Yes, we do get a lot of feedback from our customers, but I think probably the strongest feedback we get is how versatile the products are.
I like that.
And it's like you can put on, oh gosh, I have one story I'll tell you, but you can wear the same clothes to a business meeting, traveling all day. You can hit the treadmill for 30 minutes, because it is moisture wicking and it is 4-way stretch, and then you can go out to dinner. So you don't have to change if you don't have time. The story I was going to tell you, there's a woman, one of our customers, emailed our customer service, and she asked to meet with me. And so we put together a Zoom and we chatted for a little bit. And she's like, I just need to know how much you've changed my life. I'm a doctor. I am so busy. I work 12 hours a day. I get 30 minutes for lunch and that's it. And I need to get a workout in. So I hit the treadmill for 30 minutes. I don't have time to change before and after. And your clothes get me through from the very morning all the way through that day. And I think that's a gift because because our lives are busy and trying to cram everything in. And sometimes just getting that workout in is really hard, but making clothes that give you that versatility is wonderful. And our clothes are elegant enough that they will take you all the way out to dinner too. You just change your accessories, throw on a jacket, and you're ready to go.
I love that.
Yeah.
I always worry about the wrinkle factor. So if I'm going to change and I have to go and change somewhere, I have to figure out where that's going to be. Hopefully it's in my car. But again, have done that a few times. And then it's like, oh shoot, it's wrinkled. And so, the moisture wicking, all of that, you don't have to keep going back and forth, which is great. So let's talk a little bit. You mentioned you were in a corporate America before. What did you do before you got this? And where'd you come up with this idea of, you know what? I really need to do this. I need to focus on this and move forward.
Oh, I have a long career. I mean, I spent 25 years working professionally before I started my own business. I never planned on starting my own business. It was just one of those things that had to be. It was just a solution that was the right solution for me at that time. Mm-hmm. But my corporate career was in merchandising. I went to University of Oregon undergrad, and I worked in finance for a couple of years. Mm-hmm. And, I liked it, but I just couldn't believe I was going to spend the rest of my life behind a computer all day, even at that, 22 years old. So I went back to graduate school not knowing what I was going to do. And my old roommate and I are still in touch, and she takes credit for this because her aunt sort of discovered me in the sense that she discovered I had a talent, and my talent was selling clothes. We were doing it in grad school. Had a little, money-making business on the side, selling, collegiate fleece to graduate students. And it was merchandising 101 though. It was like, how do you make money? How do you simplify it? How do you edit that little product line so that it's profitable, working with QA issues, all of that. So she encouraged me to start looking at that career, which I never thought about. As a graduate student in business, I thought I was going to Wall Street or something like that. So she opened my eyes, and I started applying to different roles, something that was, very unexpected as a business student. Right. And so I got picked up at May Department Stores. They had a rotational program for business students, and I spent, oh my gosh, almost 15 years there through the ranks. And by the time I left, I was working at Lord & Taylor. I was the vice president, divisional merchandise manager I'd been in sportswear and dresses and a lot of different areas. So that was the beginning. And from that, then I moved and worked for a couple of specialty stores that are big brands like Victoria's Secret and The Gap. I worked for Coldwater Creek, and then I worked for Carter's. And I should say that in between there, I worked for Lucy Activewear. And that's really where I met a lot of the contacts that I ended up leveraging when I built my business. So retail moved me around a lot. It is an interesting career. But by the time I was at Carter's, I was single, and I had a 10-year-old little girl, or 8 when I started there. And my job was so demanding. I was traveling all over. I mean, 60, 70% of the week. And it was tough. Oof, it was really, really tough on our relationship. And I knew that finding another job was not the solution. And I just changed my priorities. And so I decided to start my business and move back home into the village of San Diego. And I was born and raised here. So coming back home allowed her to be surrounded with family and grandparents and brothers and, my brothers and sisters, and just really be part of a bigger environment than we had in Atlanta. So I love my experience in Atlanta, and I love my whole corporate world, but life changed and I had to change with it. So I started this company.
So you thought, well, I need more balance, and here I go.
So I'm gonna, go work like crazy as an entrepreneur. But the one thing that the entrepreneurial role does for you is give you flexibility.
Right,
and
exactly.
That, as a parent of a 10-year-old child, is probably the most important thing that I could ever get. And I needed that flexibility. I really wanted to be there. I wanted to be able to, the simple things I couldn't do for 10 years. I wanted to drop her off at school. I wanted to be there to go to her performances. I wanted to go to her field hockey games. I wanted to be able to pick her up. I wanted to make dinner for her. Those are all things I was never a part of for 10 years. And she didn't have another parent to fill that in for. So I wanted that experience. And so I gave that gift to myself. And I did
Nice.
that. Yeah.
So what do you see as your most significant barrier in your current career?
I'm not sure I really see a barrier in my career.
So sourcing and product sourcing and all of those things, like, are those ever issues, or especially as a woman? I mean, when you're, talking to the factories and all of that, is it?
We have really long-term relationships, and the relationships that I have actually started before I started the company. So these are people, team members, and people I've worked with for many years before. So I met earlier on in my career. One of the owners of our factories, I mean, we've been doing business way longer than KiraGrace. So probably 15, 16 years we've known each other at this point. Our lead fashion designer worked with me at Lucy Activewear. So that relationship goes back a long, long way.
Yeah, that's
so
nice.
I don't really have the barriers with suppliers or factories. No, and I think of the online world is really fluid, so I don't feel constrained really. So.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about role models or mentors, because I'm sure it had to be a pretty big leap to say, okay, I'm going to leave everything that I've known for all this time. How many years did you
25.
say it was? 25 years. And then I'm just going to go out on my own and start something new. I mean, I understand that one of your biggest reasonings was because of your daughter and wanting to really change your life so you could be there for her, to have that stability. But still, it's a pretty big leap. And, a lot of our listeners might be thinking, you know what, I need to just stay with the safe thing rather than make that change. So maybe there's something that you could share about that.
Yeah, it is a big risk. And I did think about it a lot. I thought about it for about a year. I mean, I didn't do it quickly. I did it really slowly. And I knew I started to plant the seeds for this, even the design side and the trademarking and the legal pieces and the factory relationships before I left Carter's. And I started working on it and networking with people that could support the business. At that time, we were solely activewear, and spending time with influencers in that market and asking them to wear Tessa clothes and see if they would get behind us, and did they love them or not love them, and get the feedback and work on that. So by the time I made the decision, I had proof of concept, but I didn't necessarily have any money behind it yet. We didn't have sales, but I knew it was a really good idea, and I knew that we would be somewhat successful. I didn't know if we'd be massively successful or not, but I knew that we had an opportunity. And the big push was through friends and networks. Someone got our clothes on the Today Show, And this is before I left my business. And I was like, all right, we're on the Today Show. I wasn't personally, but the brand was. I'm like, we're ready to go.
Yeah.
And at that point, I felt confident that I could make a business out of it. It was also in an industry that I spent 25 years in and I had relationships in. So I wasn't doing anything that was like completely different than I had been doing before. It was just much smaller and more of a startup, obviously a startup, but I wasn't entering a completely different business. I was doing the same business I had been doing, but in a much smaller, well, very small scale.
Right.
But
so the mentors, sorry, let's jump back to that.
Yeah.
So did you have any mentors that helped you really push this forward, or I don't know?
Not in terms of pushing it forward. I did connect with a couple of my mentors before I actually cut the cord from the corporate life. And, you know, one of my big questions was, if I fail, will I ever be able to come back?
Yeah.
And the feedback I got from that was really interesting. One of the women that I respect so much, she said, well, I can guarantee you'll never come back. I don't know if you'll succeed or fail, but I can guarantee you once you have experienced life on the other side, you will never go back to corporate America.
Interesting.
And that was really a bold statement. And I will say it was 100% true, because there are times where, you know, certainly during COVID and things like that, where things were so tough with the business, I could have closed it, but I knew I would never go back to corporate America. So if it wasn't KiraGrace, it would be some other entrepreneurial thing, because that freedom and the fun I have with it, the way it kind of ignites my life, I can't imagine walking away from that.
So let's take just a moment to have a smart stop.
SmartStop knows the winning connection is when we elevate success together. SmartStop Self Storage, a California company with nearly 200 properties and over 15 million square feet of rentable storage in the US and Canada, is committed to positively impacting the communities we serve on the national and local level. By aligning our core principles of leading together, embracing change, and enhancing everyone's journey with local initiatives focused on education, health, and social welfare, we all elevate together. Through financial and strategic partnerships with nonprofits and prestigious organizations such as Cloudcast Media, Arrow McLaren IndyCar, Breast Cancer Research Foundation, Wounded Warrior Project, USC Athletics, the Brampton Steelheads, MMA fighters and boxers, and other unique athletes, we aim to foster a sense of unity and pride within the communities we serve, creating a shared identity and generating a positive atmosphere. To learn more about our core values, our locations, and career opportunities, please visit us at smartstopselfstorage.com. SmartStop, elevating success together.
Okay, so you love to be an entrepreneur versus in corporate America. And that does take a little bit of courage, because, you know, it's you. If it fails, then it's you. But if it also does well, then it's you as well. So what are some lessons that you've learned that you could share with young women that would be advice to say, hey, you know what, I did this and you can too, and here's why?
Yeah, I think, again, this came from a friend of mine. At the time, I was looking for advice on this, and it was a man who was an entrepreneur, and he said, well, you have to decide if that's the kind of life you want. Mm-hmm. Do you want to be an entrepreneur? Because it's harder. It is. It's harder. You have bigger highs and bigger lows, but it gives you different qualities in life that may be more important to you right now, as they were for me. Mm-hmm. But I think fundamentally you have to decide if that's really what you want to do. Do you want to be an entrepreneur? Are you sure? And do you know why? If you made the decision to do it, you know, some of the best advice is fail fast, you know, be resilient, get up. I mean, we don't even use the word fail at our company. If anyone says failure, we're like, no, it's not a failure. We just tried something. We tried something, it didn't work. I mean, really
Experiment.
The value. Yeah. It's a test. Everything is about how do you minimize the test? How do you get back up? What did you learn from that test? So it's not really about failure, and being resilient is really, really important. And then be confident, really be confident in yourself. Trust your decisions. You'll be in charge of things that you never thought you would be in charge of. And then the level of responsibility is enormous in terms of all the functional areas and the people you're accountable to and the salaries you have to cover. So it's trust yourself, be confident that you can do it. Yeah. And when it doesn't work out, just dust yourself off and pivot, try something new.
So you did talk a little bit about failure. So how do you see success and failure? Because I want to delve into that a little bit more, because I think you have something interesting to say on this, just based on kind of how you touched the surface.
Our company is different than, I always say we were two different companies now in our lifetime, and in KiraGrace, and we may even be a third at some point. But fundamentally, you need to understand your customer. And if your customer changes, you have to change with it, or you will no longer be relevant.
Right.
So you have to innovate and create new products and really understand her. And that takes testing and trying things. So in terms of failure, we started, I can't call it failure. It's just, we were an activewear brand, and we were a very successful activewear brand. COVID fundamentally changed the lives of my customer. Fundamentally. She was very different. Everything was different in her life, and we had to pivot to answer her needs, or we wouldn't be relevant anymore. And so we took all the knowledge we had and we shifted it into ready to wear and moved forward, from that point, and started a whole entirely new business. So our ready wear business is probably three or four times the size of our business before.
So explain how that worked out. So you were mostly yoga, and now you are, because forgive me, I haven't gone to the website. I was told that I should probably check into that, and I hadn't had a chance.
No,
explain what it is your mission is now, how it changed and how that evolved, and what your mission is today.
Well, the mission has stayed the same, and it is really, our mission has always been to support women. And we did that in the past by creating clothes that really there was no market. The market didn't have. And it was really about embracing femininity and feeling strong and beautiful. And we did that through the articulation of yoga clothes at that time. But as things shifted, the mission stayed the same, but we shifted, what her needs were at that time. I think that's
yeah. I get that. So you already talked a little bit about the why and kind of how it all evolved. But what wakes you up in the morning, or when you wake up in the morning and you go, you know what, I can't wait to, what does that look like? What is the thing that you look forward to most with work?
Well, I am a retailer and a merchant. This has been whether I've worked for myself or for any company that I've worked for. Mm-hmm. I can't wait to see what people are buying that we've picked for them. So whether I was working as a buyer at Lord & Taylor, in the dress department, or intimate apparel at Victoria's Secret or at The Gap or whatever, it was always, you're responsible for editing an assortment that someone will in the end find attractive and that they want, that fits their needs. So it's always fun to me to see how good were we? How do people vote today? Did they vote that they like it or not like it? So, and seeing where trends are happening even within the business. So I love that. I'm a born merchant. I've had that my whole life. Like, I get really excited about seeing how things sell and what people are attracted to.
So what is your demographic? Like, when do you have two different demographics, or is it just like one in the middle, or how does that work when you're just doing the designing?
Our customer she's a busy woman. She's a professional woman. Our age is pretty broad, actually. We have a pretty broad age group. So I think about it as more what's going on in her life. And she's busy, she's professional, she's got a day job, she's most likely a mom. Time is the most valuable thing in her life, and she just needs things to be simple. She wants to look beautiful, but doesn't want to have to worry about it. Wants to be able to pack easily for a trip where everything works together. So our demographic is definitely female and working, professional woman.
So is it shoes or no? Do we have some shoes? No shoes. Do you have accessories?
Sometimes.
And then I would think that they would be interchangeable pieces that go with one another, coordinate, and then, you could dress it up, because you had mentioned you could start in the morning, wear one all day long. You could actually go on the treadmill and then make a couple of changes. So kind of explain what the pieces are like, if you don't mind.
No, yeah. So in order to be in our collection, all of our fabrics are 4-way stretch. I mean, that's the most important thing, is that clothes really move with you. And so we make pants, dresses, we'll have skirts this spring, tops, everything is in a 4-way stretch. So the tops are coordinate with the pants. Everything's an outfit. You can put 2 to 3 or 4 pieces together and travel with them and put 6 different outfits together with those. We really focus on everything being elegant so that it's not trendy, it's not too difficult to understand. It's beautiful and elegant and looks really lovely on, and you don't have to really think about it. So I think that the essence of KiraGrace is just, it's easy and it looks great. And it always fits. So because we have the 4-way stretch, you can have a bad day. I think we talked about that earlier.
Yeah.
I mean, as you know, not every day you're feeling fantastic, right? And I have days like that where I'm like, well, I don't really want to put on these jeans. These jeans aren't, I want something.
They feel too bindy.
Yeah, too bindy. You want something more comfortable.
Yeah.
So we came out with stretch jeans, and you wouldn't know that they're stretched. They're very tailored and beautiful, and they've got. But we wanted to do a denim jean that looks more like a trouser, but then it has that hidden stretch in it, so it feels really comfortable.
Love that.
Yeah.
Trousers are,
but not like a 5-pocket tight jean, right?
Yeah.
So we just wanted to do a beautiful denim trouser, and we sold out. I mean, it was amazing. We sold out within just a couple of weeks. So I can't. So those are things like
very hard to find. Yeah. That's why I would think they're very unusual, because I too like those sometimes. On those more casual days. So as far as like your designing and all that, how do you get feedback? How does that work?
Well, we get feedback a couple of different ways. Customers leave reviews. That's one thing. So we always, read those. I read every single review. I answer quite a few of them myself too. We also,
I love that, by the way. Yeah. I love that you're not so, I've got a team for that. I'm not going to be involved.
Are you kidding? Being close to your customer is the most important thing. It really, really is. And I need to hear what she's saying. We also get feedback on Facebook. People will send us things. We get feedback. People will just reach out and want to talk to me. We also do a survey. We do a big survey every year where we track certain components of the business, like how are we doing in overall satisfaction and customer returns and stuff like that. But we also ask for her to tell us more about how her life is changing and what's important to her now. And then on the holidays, I really love this. We do invite a group of our customers just on one-on-ones with me, and I'll talk to them and learn more about what's going on in their life, what's important to them right now.
That's really neat.
And so that is some of the most important feedback I learn about what's really important to her, and time and versatility are always important. Like
family and friends?
Family, friends, health, feeling good, feeling strong, taking care of herself, taking care of stress, managing stress is always really important. But those are some of the components. It's strange, having a direct-to-consumer business, we don't have a store, right? So we aren't talking to her. She's not walking in the front doors. So we have to reach out and ask her to talk to us.
Have you considered doing that or no?
I've thought about it, but I spent 25 years in store line business, and that business is a different operational structure than what we have. And we've thought about it. I'm not sure I am ready for that. There's sort of a beauty in the business that we've created right now that I really love.
So what does your daughter say about it all?
Oh, my daughter.
There's got to be something. I think that'd be really fun for her. But maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. And
sometimes she works with us. She's in school right now. She's a senior in college, so she's away from home, and she's been away for 4 years. And I barely get her anymore. In the summers, her summers are really busy doing
it's
other
a cycle,
things.
by the way. She'll come back. I have a 24-year-old, so she will come back.
Yeah, I think she will come back. She graduates this spring. No, she loves the clothes. She wears the clothes.
That's great.
Yeah, she said they're really comfortable. They're great as a college student. She was like, I just want to throw something on. They're great for interviews. So I know that she wears the clothes. Sometimes she'll help us if she's on break and we have something going on with a photo shoot or something like that. She'll get involved in. But
what is she going to work in the family business at a later date, do you think?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
I mean, her interests are a little bit different than mine and always have been.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Well, she's her unique person. Yeah. Advice just in general that you would give to the next generation of leaders. You walk into a room, you say, here is something I really need to share with you so you can apply it in your life. What might that be?
Well, we touched on a couple of them earlier, right? Like just believe in yourself and have the confidence in yourself. Fail fast and be resilient and take risks.
Yeah, that's one I think.
Take risks.
Yeah. You have to.
know?
And it's okay if you fail, but you can fail forward as long as you learn something from it, right?
Yeah, everything's a risk. Buying a house is a risk. Getting married is a risk.
Everything. There's nothing
Taking
that's
one job
risk.
is a risk. Everything has risk. And so just understand it. Understand your strategy. Does it align with what you want and your goals for yourself? Mm-hmm. And make the decision and just do it. Don't waste time pondering things. Just take the risk. If you don't take the risk, then you're really frozen. Right? So you have to take the risk to grow.
Definitely. So what's next for you?
Well, we are creating new products that I'm really excited about. We'll be launching this fall, but one of the products came from just a frustration of mine, and I like to solve problems. And so we are launching a skincare line, and it's called
what?
It's called Pure by KiraGrace. And I'm really excited about it because I wanted to address the void in the market for women where we're constantly being told we need to look younger, firmer, smoother, wrinkle-free in order to be beautiful. And you just don't. You don't. And I'm just tired of all the marketing around that. And I was looking for something that was really nourishing for my skin. I have really dry skin as I've gotten older and gone through menopause and things like that. Things change. Yeah. And my skin is, and I was looking for solutions, and everything I was being served up on, whether it was Facebook, Instagram, or Google, was just how I need to look younger. I'm like, no. I actually feel really good about who I am. I feel really, really good. I don't need to look younger. I don't want to look younger. I don't want to pretend I'm younger. I just want to feel comfortable in my skin. I want something that actually answers my problems.
Right.
And so I saw a void in the market. So that's what we'll be answering this fall. Just beautiful products that moisturize and feel really hydrating and lovely, are good for you. And we're not going to tell you that you need to look younger. Just be beautiful with who you are and where you are in life.
The good for you. So explain that. Does that mean that they're all natural? Like, tell me what that is.
We are working with formulators now. So I'm very interested in including organic ingredients. I think that that's important. But most important to me is that it feels luxurious and it is hydrating and it actually moisturizes. So, and that we get that result. So that is the solution we're trying to provide.
Wonderful. Well, so exciting. I can't wait. I'm excited about it. We need to keep in touch so I can hear all about that and how that's going. Yeah. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah.
And thank you for taking the risk, and I'm glad that it's paying off for you, and really for you to be able to be the mom that you wanted to be to your daughter and spend that time with her when she was growing up.
Well, thank you for the opportunity to share my story.
Thank you.
Now that was powerful. We hope you've been lifted and encouraged by today's inspiring voice. Always remember that life doesn't look exactly the same for each one of us. Never stop dreaming, striving, and thriving. In future episodes, we look forward to bringing you powerful stories from amazing women who learned how to lead in to challenges. Thank you for listening and being part of our community with SheEO host, Rebecca Jones.
The incredible curated SheEO conversation you just enjoyed was brought to you by SmartStop, a leader in self-storage real estate and a company that upholds its core principles of leading together, embracing change, and enhancing everyone's journey. To learn more about SmartStop, please visit smartstopselfstorage.com.
Cloudcast Media.